No, I don't even have a TV. Like,
Neither do I.
need a TV for?
Well, I had a TV in here. The guy that built this out had a TV on a really nice swivel. And
Yep.
for those of you that wonder, how do you and your husband live in this van together? Our van had been broken down and not drivable for 2 months. I lost my mind and I punched the TV and ripped it out of the van.
Okay.
You can't park here.
So here we are recording episode 3, Van Life Terminology, for the second time. Kyla, do you want to tell our audience why we're recording it for the second time?
Well, I deleted our entire podcast episode.
She didn't delete it, you guys. Windows updated and the file disappeared. And then we had a backup plan because it goes on our Zoom cloud. And for some reason, Zoom didn't want to record it either. So it's not Kyla's fault. We're blaming Gunner.
Poor Gunner. It's always Gunner. It's always Gunner's fault. He's laying down right next to me. He's like, I don't want to hear any of this. I'm not going to be talked to this way.
I love
his little Gunner voice, his Southern Gunner voice. Yeah, so I don't know if maybe it just wasn't meant to be. We filmed it on April Fool's, unironically, and we were already having connectivity issues, like data issues, and then I didn't have the file, and I was like, well, at least we have the backup. Backup didn't back up. So maybe the first take, it just wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be. And
it just wasn't. No, it just wasn't. Universe was like, nope, we're not having it today. Just kidding. Haha. We did have, there were some pauses. We got interrupted. A friend of mine found me in a parking lot and, I had to like answer to that real quick. And then, I think Sparrow was having a moment too,
Oh, that was cute though. I'm upset we lost that. Sparrow was our first.
We'll get him in another moment. He had many moments. He's a toddler, so there will be more moments. He had a moment today where he got a thorn in his foot, and he is not happy about it. But I can't seem to find it with the tweezers, so it's a good soak later that we're gonna have to do with some like salt water that usually brings it out.
It'll work it out. Gunner had a tick on his ear.
We had a fun day. We drove the truck around.
And
I feel like such a stud driving that thing. I'm like, oh,
so now you have a van and a truck. So
I have a van and a truck.
You're doing better than most people right now.
I don't know why I'm doing this. So I got an absolute, like an offer I couldn't resist on it. And before I like went and purchased it, it was from a friend. And we went in for like the pre-purchase inspection at this mechanic I have in this area, which is awesome. And they were like, this truck is great. Like, there's a couple things that need a little bit of work on it, but we've ruled out the most horrible things that they could be. So like, we're going to deal with them eventually. But what I do with the truck, it's a whole nother story. We're not going to get into here. You're going to have to follow me.
It'll be a process.
It's a process. I don't even know what I'm doing with it yet. Yeah. But I feel like a really big stud, a big stallion driving that thing. And it was nice to take Sparrow in it. Sparrow jumped in the truck like it had always been his truck.
Aw, it's a nice truck. Bunny had sent me photos of it and she's like, do you want a truck? And I was like, girl, what am I going to do with an extra vehicle right now in my life? It wasn't for me. It was not for me. It wasn't going to work.
Well, I don't know what I'm going to do with it.
No, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. And it is really BA. It is really cool. And I'm excited to see what you do with it.
Me too. Hopefully it happens fast. Because I don't want to spend another summer in.
That's the thing. I know. That's the thing is when you're traveling, but you start a project and then you're tied down somewhere. But
honestly, like I would be okay. I had a great time last year. I got a lot of work done. I learned a lot, and like I've traveled so much for the last 12 years that like it would be okay if I didn't. It's not the end of the world because I still have the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So whatever happens, it's always an adventure. So I just look at it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to be flexible. I used to be such a little control freak. And I mean, I still kind of am. But, it says a lot. I don't think you would have liked me a couple years ago. I was way too much of a control freak. We couldn't have done this project together. I was a nightmare to work with.
Really?
I was a nightmare to work with.
What do you think changed that?
Becoming basically homeless and living in a vehicle and having all these goals and ambitions, and none of it ever works out how you want it, good or bad. But it's just like, you can be absolutely pinpoint perfect with everything, and then it still won't go that way. So I'm like, why am I stressing myself out to the point where I'm miserable and never happy? And like, why are we doing this? So honestly, van life, being forced into van life, kind of helped me to realize, like, okay, just whatever. Like the episode getting deleted
balances you, right?
Yeah, you can't. Well, because you can't. It's not like I have an apartment or a house where I can like sulk and be psychotic, and like I still have to keep it together. I'm like in a van in public, so I don't know. I just had to get my life together and not be such a little psychopath. I mean, I'm still type A and I'm still a perfectionist. I'm still very goal oriented, which I think is important, especially for what we do for like social media. I mean, that's how we were able to put this together. We're both, we are talking to each other all the time, brainstorming and coming up with stuff. And like, I love that. I love that it's good. I think
we spend more time off camera talking to each other than we do actually recording the podcast, even though this is the second time we've recorded it. Doesn't matter.
God help us. Yeah. Well, and you know what's weird is I've heard some podcasters say they don't talk to like their other host all the time to keep it fresh for the podcast. But that's more like stand-up comedian podcasts, and they're always on the road and they're always performing. So I guess that makes more, they're doing like something different, I guess. I don't know.
There's some stuff that we have to discuss because we have to figure out the tech details and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's also stuff that we discuss that it's more private and intimate, that, you know, we talk with each other about our daily lives and stuff. And there's some stuff that we have to, are we going to talk about this in the podcast? And that's what this podcast stemmed from, is from our casual conversations. And we realized, hey, we really have some good chemistry when we talk. And Andrew was saying that, and you were saying that. And I was like, hey, let's do it. I'm down to try this. Let's go for it. And it seems to be working out really well. So we're going to keep at it.
Yeah.
But that's where it comes from. It was just the natural, organic conversation that we were having. And we decided just to start recording it and have some kind of outline for it this time, so that we can stick to some kind of organization.
Yeah. It's not just our insane ramblings. There's the, you know, we'll get into some van life essentials that we think, kind of like a van life Bible, if you will, of some things that I think are absolute necessity. And then we'll also talk about a few things that are on this list that I could live without, honestly.
Yeah, there are some things on this list that, you know, and listen, everybody's got their own necessities. Some people, like, they go into nomad life and they need the whole RV. You know, they need to have a tow. They need to have like a tow vehicle that they tow behind the big RV. They need plumbing. They need hair dryer. They need like
fryer.
Yeah. Right. And then there's other people that are like, they just want it simple. They've had everything in their life already, and they just want to pare it down into like a simple build. All I need is one of each. I don't need all these things. Everything that I have in my van has two purposes, etc.
Yeah.
And I think somehow like we kind of fit somewhere in between that. We're not like excessive, and I'm certainly minimalist, but there's also some things that I'm like, well, I'm going to buy a candle.
Yeah. Everyone, I mean, you're still, yes, you live in a vehicle, but God, at least enjoy yourself a little.
Yeah.
Everybody has their thing. It doesn't have to be
brutal.
Everybody has their thing. Okay. This is not a test of my will for like how little I can own. Okay. I have a makeup bag for my van, and then I have a whole other makeup thing in my storage unit because I'm a circus performer. The amount of shoes that I own is obscene, but these are things I use for other lines of work. Okay. Don't judge me.
Speaking of shoes, we need to take a moment.
Oh no.
Look at this. These are 4-month-old Hokas, maybe 5-month-old. Okay. They have a year warranty on them, a whole year. These haven't even hit the half-year mark. I bought them from REI. I paid like $200 for them. I'm trying to get into the shot. You see how it's split?
Completely ripped open. Yeah.
And then the bottom of them, I've had to literally cut into with an X-Acto knife because the thorns go right in. Like they say it's a Vibram sole, but it's not. The dark, the light is just foam.
Yeah, it
and
looks
the dark
like regular
is the Vibram.
foam.
Yeah,
that's very
so
disappointing.
The cacti go right in. I've had mulch, I've had twigs, I've get rocks stuck up in there, and they stab you in the leg. Never again. Never again.
Have you contacted them?
I did, and they want me to like pay to send them back to them, and then they're going to give me another pair. And I'm like, I don't want another pair. I don't want another pair.
Yeah.
I'm going to like smear your name across all my social media platforms.
Well,
I don't want another pair.
That's the frustrating thing. And that's disappointing because I feel like a lot of hiking brands are really, really good about honoring their warranties, or if you're unhappy with the product, they're normally a lot of hiking brands, they have good customer service. So it's very disappointing.
Yeah. Well, I think they're trying to remediate this problem. I think they're trying to rectify it, but I think van lifers pose an extra kind of challenge because we don't have printers that we can just print out a shipping label. It means we have to travel more and coordinate another trip to a UPS store to send it out. We have to find a box, we have to find packing material.
You have to schedule a whole trip.
And then where are they going to send the new shoes at? Where am I going to be to send the new shoes at? Like, I don't know how long it's going to take for them to send them. They're not telling me it's going to take 2 to 6 weeks. They're just saying, we'll send you another shoe. And I'm like, what? I don't want another shoe. I don't want another shoe. I don't want your product anymore. That's what I'm saying. So
it's a loss. It's a loss, unfortunately.
It is. But there were $200 shoes that I saved up for months. And it was an investment shoe. And now
it should not have split open like that. You know what's crazy? I got my Columbia hiking boots off Amazon for like $60-$70. Love them. Love them.
Yep.
They're not the hiking sneakers. They do come up the ankle for the ankle support. They're a little bit more stiff. So I know that's not everyone's vibe, especially where you're at. A sneaker would be more comfortable, I think. But they're super waterproof, super comfortable. And I've had them for over a year. They're great. They're great. Only spent like $70 and they're amazing. I still have them, still wear them. I got Andrew the Merrells.
Yes, Merrells.
Yeah, the Merrells, and he loves them, still has them, and they were both under $100.
Okay.
And they're great.
Okay.
But they're boots, though.
I like Columbia's. I kept seeing everyone, like so many people were wearing the Hokas, and I loved the way they looked.
Yeah.
And I loved that they had this big squishy sole, and I was like, for years, at least 2 years, I wanted a pair of these. And so I decided one day, I was like, I deserve them. I'm going to save up for them. I've been wearing thrift shop shoes for literally a decade. Yeah. I haven't bought myself new shoes or new hiking boots. Even my Solomon boots, I got at a flea market, used. I paid like $20 for them. So for me to like go out and buy a nice pair of shoes, it was a big deal. It was a big deal. And then for them to be like pooped out on me, I was like, wow. You guys, I'm not happy.
That's crazy. I've seen a lot of people wearing them. I do like the look of them. And part of me does want to invest in a hiking sneaker. But I'm also just one of those people where I'm like, I'm going to use my hiking boots until they fall apart.
I love hiking boots, but when my feet get too warm, they inflame. And then I don't enjoy the hike because my feet start hurting. Yeah. So I really like the trail runners. These I think they're more like a pavement running shoe. But at the same time, when you say Vibram sole, don't make it half foam. It's not a flip-flop.
Yeah, it was like only specific parts of, I don't know. It's an interesting design, I suppose.
You got to chill. You're over here limping and biting your foot.
It probably came out if he's running around.
I hope so. I'm trying to get this phone just right. Okay. Well, he was like, anyway, we don't have to talk about that because, we don't want people going off in the comments about my dog because they can't wait.
This is what's so infuriating about TikTok is like, if it just everything is an issue, everything is a point of contention. It is the least serious social media platform. Like, I could care less. Like, thank you for the engagement, but when I post there, I'm just like, whatever happens, happens. It's just going to be negative.
They always pick out like the most random stuff too. The most random things. What I think they're going to pick out and be like whiny about it's never the thing that I expect. It's like my collar is turned the wrong way, or like I have a streak of red in my hair and they've got to have an argument. And I'm just like, what? Where does your brain go? I don't know. It's definitely rotting from social media for sure.
They're so creative. Okay.
I have it pulled up.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Today we are getting into van life essentials and survival gear items terms. We're going to be talking about some things that we personally think are a necessity, and we're going to go down a general list. Some of it we agree with, some of it we don't, but get out your pen and paper and take some notes.
And get ready for story time too, because we're gonna tell our little stories.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So do you want to go first? Sure. You're the one with the fan. You have a vent.
Yeah. So first on the list is Max Fan, a popular roof vent fan used for airflow and temperature control in vans. Technically, I do not have a Max Fan, although there is a fan setting on my AC unit. Now, this is a little rechargeable USB ceiling fan. Ignore that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay. This white box on the ceiling, that is my AC unit. I have a 13,500 BTU Nomadic AC unit. And which is ridiculous. It's meant for an RV, but I didn't build this van. I bought it from someone that built it, but they built it in Florida. I bought it in Florida. So that kind of makes sense why they were like, giant AC unit, check. Now, powering it is a whole other fun thing we'll talk about a different time. So a lot of van lifers don't even have AC units because powering them is such a pain in the A. However, technology is advancing. One day soon, we will be able to do it easier.
They've got mini splits now for vans.
The mini splits are really what you want to do. Don't buy a ginormous thing. It's good luck powering it. Okay.
They still do take quite a bit of power though. They still do. But if you can get 4 to 8 watts in your roof, you're fine.
Yeah. So people generally have solar, and that's how they power the Max Fan. And you have to physically cut a hole in your van, which is scary, and it can suck air in or out. It's not going to, it doesn't have a compressor or anything. It's not going to like change the temperature significantly. It's more like just airflow, just air circulation in your vehicle. And that's what this little thing is for. Because I just plug this in USB into one of my EcoFlows, and it really it's insane. It really cools us off at night, cools us off in the morning. It's been 80 degrees here, and just running this makes such a difference. And then I also me and Bunny both have these little rechargeable fans. Gotta have them. I've had this since I lived in an SUV. I don't care if you're just like, oh, I'm homeless and I just live in a car. These things are like, what? $20-$40 depending on which one you get, and they last a really long time. You can hang them, and it's going to be a lifesaver. You need airflow, you need air circulation, you need to be cool in your vehicle, trust me. So get it
I'm trying
today.
To get mine down, and of course it doesn't want to come out.
Get it today. Get one today.
If you can get it off the hook. Okay. I just dropped it on Sparrow. Poor buddy. All right. So this is what I have. And this is actually, I have 2 of these. And they hang right over my bed. You can hang them. There's a hook on the bottom. That just folds away. So you can see how it like just folds down.
Yep.
And this one also has
a flashlight.
Lights.
Love that. So does I love when they have a light on them.
And this one has a timer, but it also has like it goes pretty hardcore. Like it's.
Yeah. Yeah, you could use it for a music video. Yeah, this one, Bunny has this same one. It has a timer, and then there's different levels.
Now, my friend gave me this one, and I love it so much that I got another one. And the best part about this is they're USB rechargeable. It's just the USB-C cord. Plus, you can charge your phone off of this fan, which is what? Like, everybody loves that. or any other little device that needs charging via USB. But it also has a big clip. And I
That's
just got this
nice.
at like Walmart.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's a very hardcore. Look at this.
That's like one of those hand strength machines. That's like a hand workout
Yeah,
to
it's a big
open
workout.
that.
But it works, and I have 2 of them now because she gave me one, and I fell in love with it so much that I was like, I need another
They're
one.
worth it.
Because it's going to be summer, and
Get them while
though
they're
it's been
hot.
snowing and sleeting here, hey, it's always good to have an extra fan, especially when you have a pet.
Yeah.
Because and then we both have the ceiling fan right there, and that is awesome. And we love that because that just circulates everything. I have a vent that is an escape hatch on this van because it used to be a handicap bus, and so they needed, in case it rolled over, they needed a way to get out through the roof. And so it has an escape hatch, but the hatch can just go up and I can drive down the road with it open, or I can just unlock the latch and it'll fold out.
I love that.
It works great because it's kind of like, I don't have to leave anything vulnerable, like windows down or anything. I leave them cracked still, but when I leave the van and it's hot, I can just put the fan on, crack the vent, open the vent. And I don't unless someone has a ladder, they're going to crawl on the roof. Like no one's going to break in.
That's perfect.
So, and sparrow will eat them anyway, but it's nice to have that vent. That makes a huge difference. But a fan is an absolute must in van life. Doesn't matter if you're in the Arctic Circle, you're going to need a fan. At some point, it's going to be hot and gross in the van. You're going to need some kind of way of circulating the air.
Especially when you're peeing. I like to crack the window and turn the fan on. But it's think of
pooping.
If you have
when you're pooping.
But think about when you have a house and you turn on that air vent in your bathroom, if you have one of those, it's that type of, you don't want stale poop air in the van. So get a fan immediately. No. Write that down.
And get some incense or buy my sage.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, a fan is absolutely essential. What's the next one on the list? Here we go. Reflectix, or some kind of insulative barrier for your windows. These windows, it's like your best friend and your worst enemy at the same time. They lose so much heat. Glass is not as insulative as you think it is, especially when it's just one layer. And that's where most of your heat is going to be lost. But it's also going to make heat when it's in the sun. So if you can block that out, it will keep your van warmer in the winter if you have heat inside. Just, keeping that up. And then it will keep your van cooler in the summer if you can block out the windows too. So I use polyisofoam instead of Reflectix. Reflectix is the stuff, you can buy it in a roll, but it's the stuff that you get the windshield covers, the little...
It looks like tinfoil.
Tinfoil bubble wrap. Yeah. And you can even use the stuff that you can get at Walmart, the cheap $5 window coverings that you can get at Walmart. That's fine. But they don't do the greatest job. And you can make custom ones out of like a roll of Reflectix.
Mm-hmm.
You can make your own with the polyisofoam. Let me see. I will get the ones that I made. Polyisofoam is a much thicker and higher R-rated insulator. You can make them out of styrofoam if you want, but this is a very thick foam.
Oh yeah. For those of you that are just listening, Bunny has, it almost looks like a cushiony pillow or like seat cover. It's very thick. It's not, yeah. Oh, and it has a really pretty mushroom pattern on it. It's actually very cute. And those just go into your back windows.
Yep. These go into my back windows. And they just, because they're so thick, the polyisofoam you can get in like multiple thicknesses. There's like 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and then I think even 2 inches. And it's a very solid, hard foam, and you have to cut it with an X-Acto knife or a saw or something. X-Acto knife works fine, or a box cutter. But the way you do it is you stick newspaper, because it's very pliable, and you can push it right into the recess of the window and trace it with a Sharpie. And then you transfer that onto the polyisofoam. And you're going to have to do some, tweaking to it a little bit, but it will fit right into the recess and just kind of stick there. And if not, you can put these duct tape tabs around it. I don't know how I can explain that on the podcast, but It's kind of an extended tab of duct tape that I've taped to the polyiso foam. So that
for those of you that are just listening, you should be watching on Spotify or YouTube because that's where we have video. Thank you.
Yes. And then you can see how cute these window covers are. But I have 4 of these. I've made 4 of these. There's 2 for the back windows and then 2 for the side windows. And they really do a number of insulating against the sun and against the cold. But you can use even cardboard. If you're on a budget and you don't want to get a whole sheet of polyiso foam, because, you know, it's like anywhere from $20 to $40 for a sheet of polyiso.
It'll add up if you have a lot of windows. So my van is Windows 360, like all, look, this is all window everywhere, even the back door, giant window.
Fishbowl.
I'm in a fishbowl. So I at least made it cozy with the curtains, but my windows are blacked out, like illegal tint, completely blacked out. I really do believe if you're going to live in your vehicle or your van, invest in getting your windows tinted, or if you know someone that will do it for cheap, but definitely put that on the list of like, definitely get your windows tinted if that's the very least you can do.
Yeah.
And I did make window covers, not as fancy as Bunny's, but when I lived in the Honda Pilot, we had I lived in Florida, you know, the sun, so whatever. So I had these very nice blackout curtains, and they were like temperature control curtains as well. And I cut those with the Reflectix and made custom window covers for each window of my Honda Pilot and used suction cups. And that helped significantly. A, it gave you privacy. B, it helped significantly with the temperatures in Florida. So it was better than nothing. But I have a sewing machine. I knew how to sew. So I sewed basically a lining. But you can also get that like 3M spray adhesive if you don't want to sew anything, and kind of do, you know, you can rig it to where it'll work anyhow.
Yeah, you can get as creative or as sloppy as you want. Like I said, cardboard works. Cardboard works. The one thing I would do is paint it black on the side that you're going to face outward from the inside to the outside of the vehicle, because people notice things, especially Reflectix and cardboard. They will notice things if the color doesn't look just black. And you'd rather have them think that you have really dark tint and they can't see inside than have them think that you're trying to block out the windows.
Yeah.
Because then they're going to be curious as to what's inside.
Well, and even
so if it looks black, that's your best bet.
If you get the knock or it's actual law enforcement or security, if they're shining a flashlight and that Reflectix comes back. So yeah, make sure whatever's like facing the outside of the window is a darker color that's not going to give away anything. Discrepancy.
The ever-loving pee bottle. Okay, you're going to have to go to the bathroom. You're never going to always be able to find a public bathroom. It's just the way it is. No. Like, it would be ideal, even if you're in the city, but like, there are going to be times where you're going to need a bathroom. You're going to have too much coffee. You had soup and water, and it's happening right now. You can't hold it any longer. You will find positions, no matter what vehicle you're in, to go to the bathroom both ways, number 1 and number 2, that are comfortable for you. You will get into a groove. Don't fret about that. Like, oh my God, how am I going to poop in the bucket? You'll figure it out. Use your blackout curtains. Do what you got to do, but you will find a way that is much more comfortable than you understand it to be. You don't need a flush toilet. You don't need a fancy seat. I have used a bucket, not even with a pool noodle on it. I just use the bucket. I don't even have a seat on it. I have used that bucket for years, and it has made it so that when I go on a regular toilet, it doesn't feel right. I'm more comfortable going in my van than I am at a normal toilet.
Well, I just like using my camping toilet that I have because it's my toilet. I still don't like public restrooms. Like, even though I live in a van, I still don't like public restrooms.
No, they're gross.
I would rather poop in my garbage bag. So I don't number 2 in my toilet. We talked about this last time, but I have like a cassette toilet that I pee in, but I poop. If I have to poop in the van, I poop in a bag. I just squat and put the bag over my bussy, donusy, and my tushy all of it. My coochie, my Gucci, my Wuchie. So, but squatting to poop is actually so much more natural. And I feel like it unkinks my colon. I have like IBS, so I'm either diarrheaing or I'm constipated.
You have a kink in your colon?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You have a kinky colon?
I do. Yeah. Kinky colon.
A colon kink?
Yeah. Well, we'll have a different platform for that type of stuff later. But, I really do prefer to poop in the bag because I'm 5'1". My feet are dangling when I sit on a public toilet. I need a children's-sized toilet. It's terrible. I need a squatty potty. Yeah. So, okay, no matter what.
As far as a pee cup, you definitely need something to hold your pee. You need a way to, something with a big opening to pee, especially if you're a female. If you're a male, you have something to aim with. Like, you've already got an advantage. I'm jealous. I wish I could pee standing up. That'd be great. But with a pee cup, I can. So like any position I'm in, I have a pee cup that, and I use a pitcher.
It's a pitcher, yeah.
It's a pitcher. I used to use like a big gulp cup, but it's only dirty because I have toothpaste stuff in it.
For those of you that can't see, it's like when a waitress comes over and she's like, "Oh, do you need me to top off your water?" That's what but she's peeing in it, and it's perfect.
Yep. And it has a little spout on one end and a handle on the other so that I can pour it right into my jug that holds all my pee. And the pee jug that I use is a kitty litter jug that's like probably 2.5, 3 gallons. And that way I don't have to empty it out every day. It's got a screw on lid so it doesn't spill. It has a handle.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It's not going to leak. It's perfect.
Now,
I used to use like an orange juice container.
But see, I never did your 2-part system. When I lived in the Honda Pilot, me and Andrew, I either had the kitty litter jug or a giant gallon water bottle jug that screws on. And I would have to get it from under the back seat. I would have to crawl into the front seat, use my shiwi thing, and squat in the front seat to pee into it and hope I didn't get pee on the front seat of the vehicle. It was,
I can't do the shiwi. Girl,
the shiwi
can use that shiwi unless you're outside.
Here's the problem with the shiwi.
Splash factor.
Here's the problem with the shiwi. Anatomically, it worked for me fine. The problem was it gets pee trapped inside of there, and it just comes in this little fabric drawstring bag. So if you don't have a way to rinse it out as soon as you're done peeing with it, it just has dried urine inside of it all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying it's not good for some things. Like, I think it's nice if you're at a music festival or you're camping. But if you don't have a way to directly wash it off right after, it's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah. And in a van, water is so, you are so conscious of your water usage that like to have something that you have to clean every time you use it that you can't just like shake out.
Yeah. I guess you could baby wipe it, but now it's like, okay, now I have to get the baby wipes out, and now I have to get the Ziploc bag to throw away the bit. It's just more things. Going to the bathroom in your van is already not going to be the super easiest fun thing. So adding multiple steps and items, less is more.
See, my problem with the shiwi, which if you don't know what a shiwi is, it's a little funnel that fits in your area, in your, genitalia area, so that you can pee into a funnel. Basically, it's a little funnel. It's oblong shaped, so it just goes around that area and it holds everything in. But it just doesn't fit everybody the same way. And I guess I pee like high pressure. I don't know. I'm like one of those, like
you're doing your Kegels. You're strong.
Something, or I'm not. I don't know, but. It would, there was a splashback. Okay. It didn't all stay in the funnel. I would pee faster than the funnel could empty.
Right.
It was a disaster. And so, I tried like perfecting the technique and it just didn't work out for me, and that's okay. But that's why I have the cup now, because then I can just
go
high pressure, man.
Just go.
I can do it high pressure, and the cup just collects it and the pitcher collects it, and then I can pour it into a bigger jug. But you do need a place to contain the pee until you have a safe place to pour it out. Yeah. And where are we pouring it out?
In my mom's front yard.
Yes. Anyone you don't like, you're going to sit. No. When the cops come up, you're going to put in a spray. No. Absolutely not, you guys. But I mean, if you want to, you can do that. But like,
Don't pull
we
an
have
R.
to be
Kelly.
conscious.
Don't pull an R. Kelly. You're not putting it on other people. Okay. Unless they pay for it.
Unless they're really dangerous. Like you can maybe, I don't know. I think there's something with like bodily fluids.
And if you guys, we have the link down below. If you would like to purchase our urine, it will be linked down. I'm just kidding. For legal purposes, I'm just kidding.
Well, this video is not getting monetized, but that's fine.
We'll bleep that. It's fine. We're joking. We're joking.
Yeah,
but also, you have our email if that is something you would actually be interested in, because we have so much urine sitting around this place.
We really do. We really do. Like if you guys need to clean, like pee clean, I'm your girl. If you need some clean pee for a pee test, like Kyla, I don't know. You might not be, but
I currently am. I have not been gardening, but I'm about to start gardening again. I need to. I need to.
So having some kind of cup or some kind of receptacle to collect your pee, and then having a place to store it that is, has a removable cover that will keep it in case it spills, because you can't just leave it in your cup. And do not let me catch you throwing it out of your van or your vehicle onto a parking lot where women, children, people with groceries, people are walking, people are going to sit, dogs are walking with their bare paws. Like, let's not pee everywhere. Okay, guys? Like, if you want to pour it in a bush, cool. But like, maybe wait till nighttime where like people aren't going to see you doing it, or bring it in your bottle and bring it into a public restroom and just pour it down the toilet. It's super simple. Yes, it's an extra step, but like, you're not paying rent. You can do this.
I would look for public parks.
You can do this. It's not hard.
I normally,
and it's always a book.
I empty my toilet look for public parks with bathrooms, or public parks that have porta potties. And that is super easy. And nobody thinks anything of it. Like if you have a cat litter jug, no one knows what that means.
Nobody knows.
Make sure it's a jug that's not clear.
Yeah.
I would say.
That mistake. So for so long, I just didn't care. And I had it in like a Tropicana bottle, but it was the clear Tropicana one. Oh yeah. And like, they get pretty gnarly too. Like you might want to clean them out after a while, guys. Cause
Simply Orange.
Yeah. Simply Orange. Mm-hmm. Simply Grapefruit. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't grapefruit. It was, yeah. All right. So we talked about pee bottles. We talked about pooping. I use a bucket. She uses a composting toilet, a little cassette toilet. I want to tell you guys about, you probably can't see this on the podcast if you're only listening, but let me pull out these baggies.
Oh yeah. I need to get
some of these bags. Here's my bucket.
Oh,
it's
that's
just
nice.
Like a little bucket. It's got a little pool noodle on it because it's cushioned.
Yeah.
It's a new bucket. My last bucket broke. And when I got this one, I was like, I'm getting pool. I'm 46 years old. So for my birthday, I got myself a pool noodle.
Yeah.
A pool noodle to poop on.
Yeah.
And these are the bags that I line the bucket with. And this is just like a 4-gallon garbage bag. But the special thing about this, they're in my Amazon shop. Hey, they are compostable. So if you end up not having a place to throw out your poop and you accumulate a lot and you're out in the back country, you can bury this. You can bury this bag with your poop in it. They're also, I think they're stronger than any garbage bag I've bought that's plastic. This is made out of like cornstarch. And you get like 5 rolls when you order them. They come in a batch of them. So like they last for like months. But I really like them and they've been really strong. I've never had one leak. The other ones, like the rolls that you can get at like Walmart, they always leak on
Trust me, don't do it.
They're not strong. They're scented. I don't want that stuff.
I don't like the scented ones. It makes the whole van smell like and some weird chemical smell, which is somehow worse. It's somehow worse.
Yeah.
I will say, if you are going to use the poop in the bag method, if you're just like in a tight position and you're like, I need to buy something right now, you just splurge on like the double stretch ones, or it's going to leak and it's going to be bad news for you, your van, everything. Don't cheap out because it'll get bad. It'll get worse.
Don't use a Walmart bag. I'm telling you.
Don't do that.
Don't do it.
Don't do that.
Not unless you want to wash everything. Nope, do not do it. Even if it's in a bucket, lining a bucket, because the second you lift that bag up, it's over.
Gone.
It's over.
They always leak.
I really do like these bags. They're the only ones that I found that are compostable and don't leak.
Noted. Write that down. Write that down. You better have your pen and papers. Next is composting toilet. And I don't think this is a necessity. Like I said, so technically my toilet is a cassette toilet. It's not really composting. It doesn't have the composting like stuff you put in there. Like it's just like a little suitcase of pee. And I put these little pods in there that make it not smell bad. And I empty it out at the park or wherever, like in the park bathrooms. But like I said, you can use Bunny's method. People do all kinds of stuff. You don't have to have a physical camp style, cassette style toilet in your van if you don't want to, or if you don't have the space.
Yeah. And if you, like my son, when he traveled, he was in his little like Suzuki hatchback thing and he didn't have a bucket. He waited. He was able to hold it, but he was young. So he was in his early 20s. But he was able to hold it for public bathrooms. I always said to him, like, I would not do that because you never know when you're going to get a case of Montezuma's revenge. You never know if you're going to get Giardia and have to poop out your brains like gallon at a time. So always just have some option, even if it's just the bag. Just have something that you can immediately go in.
Yeah.
And there was a time where he had to use my bucket. He had to come in the van and use the bucket. I was evicted, but
it happens.
It's okay. He learned.
It happens.
But yeah, you don't need a composting toilet. In my humble opinion, that's just like so much more than you ever need in a van. It is so not an essential item because you need the coconut fibers or the mulch or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's like wood chips or something.
Like I'm not spending that.
Also the composting toilets, you have to make a hole in your van and there's an exhaust portal. So the composting toilets are more of a permanent fixture. My toilet is like a little plastic cassette toilet that I have inside of a storage bin that you'd put Christmas lights in or something in your attic. And I can just completely remove it out of my van if I need to, or if it leaks, I'm just like, you're out of here, pal. So like,
I've just heard stories of people trying to clean out their composting toilet and it doesn't really make compost. It just mixes it with some other fibers. And I'm like, no.
It's
no.
I'm sure there's some fancy ones. Oh, you know what I'm fascinated in? We'll get into this if we have a homesteader on. I want to try one of those incinerating toilets.
They take a lot of power. They're not really great for van life. I have a friend who has a bus and she got it built out. She spent like $140,000 building this bus out.
It was fancy.
It's not. I don't know. I think I could have built something better with like $10,000, but that's my opinion. But she got an Incinelette and it's just been like problem after problem. Like the amount of power that it takes is just ridiculous. She has like over 1,000 watts on her roof of solar, and like she's running AC and a heater and all these things.
Okay,
like
it's a lot.
Not gonna work. Like just don't. And yeah,
but I feel like what about for like
for a
homestead, like a tiny home?
Absolutely.
I feel like it'd be insane.
I dated a guy who had an Incinelette and I was obsessed with it because
you tried it.
It makes this huge noise and like you see the like red glow and everything.
I love it.
It literally like your poop. It's fascinating. I love the thing.
Wait, can you pee in it too, or just poop?
You can pee in it.
Okay.
I forget what the difference was. There was a different thing, but I don't remember what.
There's always rules. Here's the thing. Every single type of little toilet thing you choose, there's rules.
Yeah.
So pick your poison.
Yep. If you're in an RV or you have a van that has like a flush toilet, you have to get special toilet paper.
No. Look, I was in a travel trailer this winter. We'll talk about this a different day. But let me just tell you something. You think, I'm just going to get an RV. It'll be easier.
Nope.
Oh,
Way too much. Way too
my
much
poor
movements.
husband, every day he came home from work and a new thing was wrong with this black tank. So it's basically just a giant tank under the RV filled with pee and poop, and you get poop pyramids, and you have to like fill it up with water and don't let it get too empty, and you have to keep the tank closed even if you're connected to sewage because it has to fill up
And then
before
it
you can empty.
freezes.
And then it freezes, and then all of the pee and poop starts coming out of the toilet, and you're like crying and freaking out, and there's nothing you can do. Then the pipes freeze, and then my husband went to go empty it, and the pipes burst, and pee and poop went all over his face. So you think you want an RV? Huh?
No, I'd never want one. Nope. I think an RV, I mean, this is off topic, but I think an RV is more maintenance than a house is. And because you have to do all the maintenance yourself, it's just unending. And because it's like a house that's constantly going through earthquake status, like, no, absolutely not. The maintenance on those things are, you spend so much time maintaining it and fixing things because they're not built for full-time living. You don't even get, it's just it's a hassle. It's more work than I want to do. No.
If you have no other option and you're like, I'm not going to buy a home, or I want to sell my home, or whatever, if you get an RV just to live in and stay put in one place, that's going to be less of a nightmare. But when you're constantly putting the slide-ins out, putting the slide-ins in, setting up, emptying the black tank, emptying the gray tank, filling up the clean one, it can be very daunting. I think it's ironic that a lot of retired people get them because it's actually a lot of work for a retired person, in my opinion. If you love it, great. I'm not pooping on it. Okay. But I wouldn't poop in it.
There's things about being in a van that are repetitive that I can't stand. I mean, it's still better than living in a house. And that's it. There's little things like the constant, like every time I put the key in the ignition, there's a checklist that I have to go through in my head. Did I lock the cabinet? Did I put up the dish? Did I close that curtain? Did I lock that window? Is that door shut tight? There's all these things that you have to go through your head. Like, did I turn off the gas?
Did I leave an $8 million Starlink on the roof and run it over?
Oh my God. Yeah. There's so much that you have to think about just to get in the driver's seat and turn the ignition on. You already are going through this whole rigmarole of process in your head. And like I wouldn't be able to handle it with pull-ins and slide outs and, a whole big rig like that.
It's stressful.
It's not just like, you can't just put the dog in the crate
and go
and lock your door and go to work. No, it's way more than that. It's way more than that. So it's not for me, but some people really like
these
it.
Are just our opinions. Please. Yeah. I still have friends. Argue in the comments. Argue in the comments. Yep. It's great. It's great for the engagement. Thank you. But no, my parents lived in a fifth wheel with my little brother for years, and it was very very nice, very very comfortable. Actually, there was 2 bathrooms, but it was it was a nice big one. But they were staying put in one place and whatever. But for me personally, what me and Andrew do, yes, we are in one location, but we're boondocking. We're not paying for camping and parking and this and that. By that point, you might as well just get a rental again because it's going to be the same price, at least where I live. So I like just having the van. It's my everyday driver. I can run errands, but then I also live in it, and then I can go camping on the weekends, and it's very, very pleasant. Less is more for me. Some of you, I know, you want the slide outs and the air fryer and the sex swing. I don't know what you people do in these RVs. I don't want to know, quite frankly.
No, I don't even have a TV.
Neither do I. Well, I had a TV in here. The guy that built this out had a TV on a really nice swivel. And for those of you that wonder, how do you and your husband live in this van together? Our van had been broken down and not drivable for 2 months because a mobile mechanic destroyed our van. And we can talk about that a different day because Florida people are built different. And me and my husband are from Florida. So that was a fun little time. Anyways, some people write reviews. Some people figure out other ways to do things afterwards. But I lost my mind and I punched the TV and ripped it out of the van.
That sounds like something I would do. Yep, that's fair. That's totally
And
understandable.
I wasn't even mad at Andrew. We weren't even fighting. The van had been broken down for 2 months in the same spot in downtown St. Pete, and we were both going to work every day.
Right.
And I just lost my mind.
That's
So,
fair.
yeah.
That's fair. Yep, that is fair. I've had some moments like that. You should see my last refrigerator. I have a little dorm fridge, and it was full of dents. And I would always tell people, oh, it's just, living in a van. There are all those little fridges. They're just aluminum and styrofoam,
Yeah.
which they are. But there were some dents that were definitely like 1, 2, 3, 4 knuckle shaped. There's no denying. I put my fist into that. That fridge took a lot of heat, man.
Well, at least somebody was there
Yep.
to observe. Well, and this goes back to, and by the way, this was years ago. Like, I'm not a violent person on a regular basis.
I am.
But this goes back to when I told you guys earlier, I used to be a perfectionist and I couldn't handle things not going well. This was years ago, still early in the process of living in a vehicle. And that was one of our first like rock bottom moments where the van was having a lot of mechanical issues, like not physically drivable. And we didn't have enough money to get it fixed all at once. So we were working and I was paying money to drive an Uber to work. And my husband was walking across the street from the van to go to work every day until we could save up enough money to get the van fixed. Because unlike some people on TikTok, we didn't just live stream all day and force everyone to give us money. Oh, anyways, so what else is on this list? We need to keep going down the list.
Well, there's a gray water and a black water, but I don't think either of those are van life essentials, to be honest. Like you have a gray water because you wash your face. You have to present yourself. You're kind of in the city more. So like, brushing your teeth and all that. Like, I mean, I brush my teeth all the time too, but like, my water is so precious to me. I can only carry so much that I don't have like enough to like wash dishes or wash my hair.
That is such a good point. Every time I talk to you about this, you talk about your water consumption. And that is like I'm in the city. So when I run out of water, I'm like, yeah, I'll just go to the store and fill it up. You're in the desert. You're in the desert.
Yeah.
So your water consumption is so important to you. And I'm not saying I like leave the sink running like a psycho, like I'm at a house. It's not like I'm running a bath, but I'm not as like concerned about lack of water. So I have a sink with an electric pump and I wash my face, brush my teeth, wash my hands.
Yep.
And so I have like a clean water, gray water system, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
But that is totally worth noting. Something that's a big deal for you is not a big deal for me.
Van lifing, and everybody's going to have a different way than somebody else. Like no matter where you are, who you are, like there's always a different way. And no way is right, no way is wrong. Like whatever works for you is going to be fine. But this is how we do it. And you have more access to water more abundantly. And unfortunately out here in the West, like there's just as much water, but we have to pay for it. Like we want to drink the spring water. We don't really want to drink the faucet water out here.
Yeah.
And we go out onto like BLM spots and dispersed camped areas where we don't, it's very remote and we have to make sure that we're monitoring how much water we have left and how much time we're going to be in a place. Because if I only come out to the desert with 5 gallons of water and I want to be here for like 3 to 5 days doing work and getting stuff done, then I'm not going to have enough water. Not for me and my dog. I mean, you have to factor in at least a gallon.
Oh, yeah.
And then you need an extra gallon or 2 for your radiator in case it overheats, if you ever need that. And then you need a half gallon at least for your dog, depending on their size. And then there's always extra water that you're going to need, whether, you poop your pants and you have to clean it up, or you stub your toe and you break something and you get bloody and you have to clean that up. You know what I mean? Like
something, yeah.
Yeah, there's always extra that you're going to need. So right now I'm at a max of like 3 or 4 days out in the desert because I don't have enough water on board. And I really need to like get on that because I would rather be out in the desert for weeks at a time. I really would. But at this point, I'm going in probably every 4 to 5 days at least.
See, there's always one thing that's going to keep you going back into the city. Right now, mine is power. That will soon change.
Yeah.
My thing is, especially when we're camping, I have an EcoFlow River and an EcoFlow River 2, and it's just not enough power for, especially when I do stuff like this. Hello, we got the
Yeah,
selfie cam
power
and the
is an
cell phone.
essential for
I have
sure.
the iPad, the microphone, the laptop. I mean, we're doing a podcast in a van. Hello, this is crazy.
So I don't know if you can pick up and show them what you have.
Oh, my power banks.
But I have solar
Yeah.
on the roof. I have 410 watts on a panel on the roof. And then I have two 100 amp hour lithium batteries under my bed. And I have an inverter and a whole system down there and all that. But I also have this extra power bank called, this is a Gracell. It's just a solar power bank. And you can charge it from the wall. You can charge it from the engine. You can charge it from my solar panels. I'm sure you could run like a generator up to it and charge it that way. But
Right.
this will power my laptop. This will power my iPad. Like it'll charge all of my devices probably twice, but it will not run like a blender or a hairdryer or, an oven or something. It's not going to run anything like that big. It's just there for like backup. Oh my God, essential. Or if I'm out, like if I want to bring power out with me away from the van,
Which is really nice.
really
if you're
nice
camping, it's so nice to have.
Yeah.
It
would run like a projector or something like that if we wanted
our
to put
movie projector.
Yep.
A fan. Some extra lights, like I'm running these lights with mine right now. These little lights.
Right. Or even like even though I have solar, like if it's overcast or like it's been raining for days,
true,
this will come in handy because I'll still get residual sunlight, but it won't put my batteries into float state, which means they're basically all the way charged. Yeah. So it's nice to have something extra.
I would say that is a top necessity, is you need some type of backup
and
power.
Not just like a small little book size. No. You need this because you never know what's going to happen.
Gracell, Blue Eddy, EcoFlow, Jackery, any of those types of ones. Okay.
Yeah.
I did recently have a very mysterious benefactor gift me an EcoFlow.
I love that for you.
EcoFlow Delta 3 a plus. Okay.
Whoever that was, I just want to send my heartfelt thank you, because even though I'm not getting the benefits of it, it doesn't matter, because the fact that she's going to be more comfortable in the way she does van life, Kyla really needs this, and it's a huge purchase item. So thank you on behalf of her.
I had an EcoFlow River that some of my followers had gifted me when we first moved out of Florida, and they were like, "We're so excited for you, blah blah whatever." And it was like a $200 EcoFlow River, very nice, very awesome. It was an absolute necessity. I can't even remember what I was using before. I think someone had given me one of their older Blue Eddies, and it finally crapped out on me. And because all of these batteries, by the way, have life cycles. So sometimes we'll have 3,000 life cycles, 5,000 life cycles. And one life cycle is from the time it's 100% to 0% battery life. That's one life cycle. So they don't last forever. So keep that in mind when you're buying them. So I had this EcoFlow River for about a year, and it had a 2-year warranty. And right exactly a year, it completely crapped out on me and was giving this weird signal. I contacted EcoFlow. They have an app, and I was very happy with their app. I was happy with their customer service. They got back to me. They walked me through the process. Bing, bang, boom. I showed them the receipt or the order number from when I bought it off Amazon via their store. And they were like, "Great, cool. So we're going to send you a refurbished unit." I was a little bummed out that it was refurbished, but I was like, okay. They said you can either send yours in, we'll try and repair it. If we can't repair it, we have to send you a refurbished unit anyways. I said, just send me the refurbished unit. What's the freaking difference? So then all of a sudden, a couple weeks later, I get sent an EcoFlow River 2. So that is a completely different unit. And just because it's a 2 doesn't mean it's a better unit. The EcoFlow River is 600 watts. The EcoFlow River 2 is only 300 watts. It is a much...
With a boost button.
The boost basically just means it's going to run out of power even faster. So It does have, the EcoFlow River 2 does have the Life PF, whatever they call it, where it is a better quality battery. So it has a longer overall lifespan of the product, but it's not more powerful. It's less powerful. It's half the wattage output, which I contacted them, and then they gaslit me and were like, "No, this one's fine." And they're like, "It'll be good for you." And I'm like, this is not the warranty. You sent me a completely different item. What world are you living on? So I had to make a TikTok video. I had to make an Instagram video. I had to email them multiple times through. And then finally, like, we're so sorry. We can't believe that happened. We're sending you a brand new EcoFlow river. So here's what I'm going to do. Everybody. Okay, EcoFlow, if you're listening. I still like your products, but what y'all did was crazy town. So I don't know what happened. Fix it.
No,
fix it.
Y'all tried to scam my girl, and I will never buy your products.
Here's what I'm gonna do. EcoFlow. Here's what I'm gonna do. Since I had a very mysterious benefactor send me a brand new EcoFlow Delta 3 Plus, I will be doing a giveaway of my brand new EcoFlow river. So I've only had it for a few weeks. Yes, I've used it, charged it. Sorry, my husband's wandering around the van looking for something that's probably right in front of him. Bless his heart. But we pray for him. But I'm going to be doing a giveaway of my EcoFlow river. It's brand new. I still have the box. I'll put it back in the box. I'll even pay the shipping for you within the United States. I'm not that rich, okay?
Oh, so what a girl. Oh, my goodness.
So basically, I don't know when this comes out, but the terms of the thing will be, make sure you're subscribed to me and Bunny and the podcast on YouTube, and comment on I'll make a video. I think I'm going to post a video on my Vanboozled YouTube channel. And then you comment on that video. Make sure you're following me on wherever. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just follow me. Just follow us. Support us. God, watch our stuff. Come on. I'll give you a
terms
EcoFlow.
Will be in the caption.
Okay. A shower. I would say for the solar shower, you tell them how you feel.
I don't think it's a necessity. I really don't think it's an essential item at all. Listen, a gym membership is probably more essential, honestly. But there are some people I know, like my friend Tracy, she does, 6 months of van life at a time. And then she has a tiny house, and she just never really, like, the whole Planet Fitness thing just didn't appeal to her. She was like, it's not really worth it to me. She doesn't have a lot of hair. She's a small person, so she can just take a little bird bath and, like, it's fine. And, like, maybe go to a truck stop once a month for a shower. Yeah. Or she'll slip in. She travels with a lot of our friends. And so she can slip in with some of us that have Planet Fitness memberships and go, alongside us, because if we have a $25 a month Planet Fitness membership, the Black Card, we can have a guest come with us every time for free. Mm-hmm. So she could just slip in with us and whatever. So it's not really, like, super worth it for her, because Planet Fitness will give you a hard time about canceling the membership. You have to go to your home gym to do it.
All of them do that.
If she's only using it for 6 months of the year, it's not really worth it for her.
No.
And she can do bird baths, but she heats up water and she just washes and she's fine. But let me show you what I have. I would not, however, use one of those plastic bag solar showers. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I have one.
They
leak.
They are problematic. You can't really transport water with them because they will leak.
No, you can't travel with them. When you fill them up, you have to use them.
If you're in the desert,
they're heavy.
You can't hang it from a cactus because then you're going to have more leaks. And there aren't tall trees to hang this thing from. Like, if you want to construct something from the top of your van, that's another thing.
I hang mine from my roof rack. I have like one of those roof rack things, but I only use mine in the summer when we're camping somewhere that doesn't have a shower, but they're kind of a pain. See, I like what you have. I was looking at them at Walmart tonight. I like that thing.
For those of you that can't see this is a garden sprayer, and this one is just a gallon. You can get them at like 2 or 3 gallons. You can get them at half gallon. You can get them at like Dollar General, and they have like little pump ones, and they're just like, I think, a half gallon, and they have a handle on them. But this one has a little tube and a wand, and the wand has a little trigger button, and you pump it up. And what it does is it pushes air into the water tank. And then when you push the trigger, it comes out of the wand spout.
But see, you get pressure. You actually see the hanging ones. You don't get pressure. You have to hang it high enough above you to where the nozzle is above your head.
Right.
And I had someone gift me one. I'm very thankful. It's $20. It's not bad, but I've gone through 2 of them because they do break. You can't transport them. So you have to fill them up once you get to where you're going. Now, it's better than nothing. It wouldn't be my first option at this point, knowing what I know now. The bag ones.
Right. Okay. They're great if you're going to be camped somewhere where there's a lot of sun and you're near a river. where you can constantly keep filling it up.
Which is where I'll, I'm near a watering
Right.
hole.
But if you're like trying to transport more water with it in the desert and you don't have a way of filling it up unless it's your drinking water, like don't even bother with it. Get one of these because it screws shut. It's not going to spill even if it gets knocked over. Okay. You can release the pressure so that you can travel with it. I have painted mine black so that it gets warm in the sun.
Smart.
But they come white. They're usually white or clear. And they're meant for like spraying pesticide, but if you never put pesticide in it, they're fine for just water. And they're like $10-15.
Dude, and that would be so nice to clean Gunner off with. I can't believe I've never thought about this. It's so good for the dogs.
When I go to the beach, if I'm at the ocean, I use it to rinse off my feet, Sparrow's feet, his balls. No, really. Like everything gets covered in it. So, I mean, it also doubles as like if you want to wash a dish or something, or it can be really handy to like take a shower with. I've washed my hair with them before. It's fine.
Perfect. Yep. But I would say, generally speaking, most people, gym membership is going to be ideal.
Yep. It's $25 a month for Planet Fitness gets you access all over the country at any major metropolitan area. It gives you tanning. It gives you a spa, like massage beds and massage chairs. It gives you a source of water. It gives you a source of heat because if it's cold outside, you can go inside.
Wi-Fi,
a source of
charging stuff.
Wi-Fi, of air conditioning. You also have outlets you can plug in.
Yeah,
and it's just a place to chill. And there's some perks that come with the membership too, like you get discounts at different stores and stuff. But you have to check that out online.
Another thing, if you are ever in an area that doesn't have a Planet Fitness, look for other gyms in the area and call ahead. You can pay for a day pass somewhere. Yep. So let's say you shit your pants, you had some weird hot dogs at the gas station, and you're like, oh my God, there's no Planet Fitness. I need to shower right now. You can typically pay for a day pass anywhere and get into said gym.
YMCAs are good too, because they're pretty much everywhere. But also, if you are not sure if you want to get the whole membership, most gyms offer a trial for either free for a week or a couple days.
Yeah.
That way you can like check out the facilities. They'll always give you a tour for free. You can always get a tour, but like if you want to get a trial, most gyms will offer that to you, like either free or for a discount or whatever, just so you can see.
Look, put on your nice clothes. Don't park where they can see the van. Act like, oh, I just moved to this area. You got to do what you got to do. I don't want to give all the secrets away on this episode, but sometimes it's okay. It's okay to just
play the part.
Play pretend.
Yep. And play dress up, So what's next on the list? Let me see here.
Shore power.
Yeah, I think that just goes into like some kind of, like our power banks. It's very important. Like you don't want to use your cigarette lighter in your vehicle to power everything. You don't want to use your house battery. You don't want to use your engine battery. Like those things.
No, don't do that.
They're not meant to be used that way. Even when you're driving, you don't want to charge everything via that.
Don't do that.
Because you need to charge your battery. Like, and if you're constantly running and drawing from it, even while you're driving, like you're not giving the battery.
I just don't like the idea. I almost bought a van before I got this one. This girl wanted $20,000. It was kind of like yours, where it was a high top, and she did the solar, and it was cute in there. She did some wonky ass sheet to this van. She connected the alternator to the power source. And so the vehicle wouldn't start, or it would it was always, the battery was always dead. And I don't know what the heck she did. And she was like, oh, like, yeah, I don't know. Like my boyfriend did that, but like, it's probably not. And I'm like, girl, you want $20,000 for this rust bucket and you destroy the electrical and you probably just burnt out your alternator doing some crazy. My rule of thumb, and I've never built out my own van, but like, do not start integrating the actual vehicle mechanically to your build. Do your solar, do some 30. I have a 30 amp hookup on this, but none of it is reliant on my actual van battery. I don't mess with that. If you're very techie, if you know how to do electrical, great. But I would say avoid messing with that can of worms.
I would always keep those two power sources completely separate. Either way, like, even if you know exactly what you're doing, having them separate means you have a backup. Like, I can use my solar system to charge something else to jumpstart my battery. I have a jump pack. I have microcell. Like, there's things I can use to jump my battery because I have this backup system. If they're all tied up in together and something gets fried or a mouse gets into one or somebody screws it up somehow,
it's all ruined.
It's all ruined.
Also,
so
a lot of mechanics
keep it separate.
A lot of mechanics will not work on your wonky ass van if you do crazy stuff.
That's so true. As soon as they notice something's wonky about that, they can't touch it because then they're liable. And no.
Try to keep everything not stock, but like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, don't start doing custom, weird, crazy stuff to the engine and leave everything under the hood, as it were.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. That is so important. That is an essential thing to know about van life. Leave everything under the hood, original to like what a natural, but a regular vehicle would be. You don't want to mix it up with everything else because, listen, that's when they're like, no. When I had the heater in this van, because it was a bus, there was a heater and an air conditioner in the back. And there were mechanics that would not touch the system, the cooling, because the Freon, the coolant line in the radiator actually ran to the heat and the AC. And that's part of the reason why I was like, get it the F out of here. I want that entire thing closed off because only a bus company will work on it at that point. And I can't have that. So I needed that to be completely shut down. So I found somebody who was able to remove all that, and thank God. But now anybody can work on it. But up until that point, I could only go to the bus company. But now I have this great mechanic at this amazing bus company in Phoenix.
Very
cool. I'm giving a shout out to Shetke Auto Bus and Van Sales in Phoenix. They're actually in Tolleson, which is right outside of Phoenix, but Clint is amazing. He's just been so accommodating. He has been just a godsend. You know, when you like pray for that amazing mechanic, like Clint at Shetke Bus Sales.
I've had those.
He's the guy for me. Like I love that guy.
Just good people. Actually, ethical. There still are ethical, good mechanics out there. I promise. Yep. I am spoiled because my husband is a car salesman. So he has a personal working relationship with the mechanics at his dealership. So that makes my life very effing chill because the people working on my van are people that we know and trust and like we see every day.
Yes.
So that's
important.
Not fair. And I wish all of you had that.
That is a van life essential. Learning a little bit about like changing your own oil maintenance, like just knowing about your van. What kind of like, does it need to get the differential fluids changed? Does it need to get the transmission fluid flushed? Like,
does it need the lube gun?
The basic maintenance.
I had to teach you about the lube gun. So my van is a 99 and it still has the little bussy holes underneath, like all the handling, and it needs lube. Like, you know how it used to be oil and lube, Jiffy Lube? Well, they don't do that anymore because the newer cars, everything's sealed up. Well, my van gets crickety-crackety with the handling, sis. And so it really does. You can get a lube gun, okay? All the old school car guys know what I'm talking about. Car ladies, car people, okay? And you put the lube gun in these little holes and boop, 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 and you lube it up. And so I went to get it. Yeah. And so I went to go get an oil change the other day because I'm a lazy POS. Actually, no, it's really hard to find a place to change your oil without getting yelled at. Whatever. So in public. So I also got a discount.
True.
I found a coupon for $25 and they were very sweet, but they're these young gentlemen. Okay. And they did not know how to handle my green machine. That's what I call my van. And so they were like, what? And I'm like, listen, okay, this van is older than all of you. Why don't you just stand back? And so I was like, okay, like, can you lube it up? And they're like, what? And I'm like, you guys don't do that. And they're like, we don't do that anymore. And then the older guy that worked there was like, yeah, we don't do that anymore. So I will be buying my own lube gun this month.
Okay.
And I'll make a video. You guys,
you better make videos about this.
Yeah.
I want to see this kind.
It'll be on OnlyVans.
Okay. Oh, see? All right. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the other thing about shore power. It's not a necessity. It's a luxury, girl. Van life, you're not going to have shore power.
for
The whole
sure.
thing is boondocking. Shore power is like a necessity for if you're doing luxury RV life and you have slide outs and you need that for your fridge and this and that. But I will say, Reese, today I found out something. Andrew's dealership, his manager was like, oh, before you leave, there's power outlets in the back. You guys can hook your
Love
van
it.
up. And I was like, what? And so we went and looked at them, and I make sure. So my van was built with a 30 amp hookup. Okay, so I can connect to power, like shore power. You have 30 amp hookup, 50 amp hookup. We'll get into this a different day. It's confusing. So you have to buy a surge protector specific to 30 amp or 50 amp, or you can blow out your bussy. Okay, you can destroy all of your electrical in your van. So I have an adapter. But what basically I'll be able to run my AC and have power at Andrew's work whenever I want now is the point of this story.
I love that. I love that for you, and I love that for Gunner. Like, how sweet is that? What a relief. That's awesome.
Especially summer. Especially summertime. Summer's coming. It's already 80 degrees today. Okay. Diesel heater. So I would say it's some type
We're gonna have this debate.
Yeah, oh my God.
I don't like the diesel heater. It ticks, it clicks. You have to have extra fuel. You have to carry it inside the van. They're not really cheap heaters if you get a good high quality one.
Yeah.
B, if you get the Chinese made one, now there's tariffs. So good luck.
So is it even cheap anymore?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, what is it, like 30%, 34% tariff? I don't know. But
don't make me do math.
The problem with these diesel heaters is like the instructions come in Chinese. They don't always come in great translated English. And there's not like a service department to call up any time of day and be like, why did this throw this error code? So you kind of have to like really do your research and like read all the Reddit threads and like go online and like really search for information on them.
You have to be handy. The people that love them,
just not.
The people
that don't want to do that.
Yeah, I've gotten so much flack for my Mr. Buddy heater this past winter, which is propane. Now, yes, the cons of propane: it's going to release moisture into the air. You're going to deal. Poor Bunny. I've done this to all of us. We normally record our podcast during human hours, and I'm a vampire. I'm a night owl. Bunny is not. And I deleted our first episode, and now look at what I'm making her do, and she's falling asleep. And
I'm not falling asleep.
I feel guilty, and I'm going to lay in front of my van and have Andrew run me over after this. Because I deleted our first episode. Anyways.
I don't think it was your fault. I think it was Windows. It was Gunner.
It was Gunner. It's always Gunner. Anyways, so the diesel heaters, there's Team Diesel, there's Team Mr. Buddy or propane heaters. There's pros and cons. The diesel heater is a permanent fixture in your van. You have to have a specific place allocated for this heater. And there's also an exhaust. So that either has to go out your window or you have to cut a physical hole in your van and permanently mount this diesel heater. And there's also a tank of diesel fuel.
You also have to have some kind of power to start it up.
Really?
There's some kind of power.
I didn't know that.
I believe you need like a little bit of electricity to start it up. Like once it kicks on, you're good, but you need it to be hooked up to some sort of power source in order for it to turn on.
I had no idea.
You're not going to sit there like with a lighter over. I don't think it works that way. Like there's some kind of ignition.
That's too much.
And I believe it's electric.
That's too much.
The ticking is what kills it for me. Like even like I could manage like maybe putting an exterior diesel tank, but like no, I don't want to do all that. It stinks. They leak. I've seen the tanks leak, even the interior ones, even the ones that are made for diesel. I've seen them leak inside of in. You need the exhaust. I don't want to deal with the ticking.
It's
all that stuff aside, I don't like.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about until we were in that travel trailer and it was propane powered, but there was a furnace. And the furnace.
The diesel, if you watch Tammy's live, My Journey 65, if you watch her live, ask her to show you the diesel heater next time it's on. Like, probably won't be on now because it's warming
summertime.
Up. But ask her how it ticks. It ticks all the time, nonstop, tick, 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 tick.
Why? I don't like that. And I
believe it starts up really fast and then it slows down, but it's still a tick. It would drive me insane. I would be mental. I would be absolutely mental. Nope. So
I can't do that while I'm sleeping.
I can't do it. No, I can't do it.
But some people love it. And also, these are just our opinions. I know people that berate me online because I have the Mr. Buddy heater or the propane heaters. And here's the thing. This winter, I ended up getting a 20-gallon propane tank. I got the filter. I got the hose. And that saved me a bunch of money. I didn't use the green canisters because we had a really cold winter in the Carolinas. That was great. That was wonderful. I also have the stovetop fan to put on my heater so like it circulates the air. That minimizes the moisture. The moisture is the worst part of it. So basically, do you want to deal with the diesel heater setup and all of that and the troubleshooting?
So you can just get like the silica kitty litter.
Yes.
And put it in cotton socks all over your van, like near the windows or whatever. And like that will mitigate some of the moisture. It absorbs it. Get those little packs that they sell for RVs that you have.
Yeah. It looks like Tupperware with silica beads, but mine has a lid on it so it doesn't spill out. Those work so well. And the amount of moisture that you see in those Tupperwares, it's insane to think that would just be like mildew and water in my van.
Yeah, it's crazy. But there are ways to mitigate the moisture. And the one thing you have to worry about with propane is, it sucks out the oxygen from the air. So you have to have like a CO2 sensor.
Oh, that's another.
You have to have a van like mine that has all kinds of air leaks and not worry about it.
That is the other thing. And I scolded you the last time we filmed this. I have a carbon monoxide detector and I have a fire extinguisher. And Bunny.
And I don't have either.
Bunny.
And I looked for one today.
Good.
And I could not find a fire extinguisher. So I before I ever get the carbon monoxide poisoner, I will.
Also, fun fact: I'm a circus performer. I eat fire and spin fire. There's like ABC and then like some other like just C whatever. Like there's different types of fire extinguishers that are good for different things. So
I just want a small compact one that I can like tuck away in the spot.
Yeah, it'll be good. They're even the smaller ones that aren't rated for more stuff. It's basically meant to just like if something catches on fire, put it out.
So I'm failing at the van Life Essentials right now, guys, because I don't have a CO2 detector and I don't have.
Well, I don't have solar.
A fire extinguisher.
I don't have solar. I feel like that's an essential.
Well, I mean, it's an essential if you're not in the city and you don't have access to power, for sure.
True.
But for your situation,
for me, it would be more luxury. I don't need it, but also.
But you've survived.
Years.
For how many years now? 2
years without it.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. So these are some extras. I'm gonna get through them fast so that Bunny can go to bed because
we talked about water. Yeah.
We need water. Obviously,
protection.
So weapons. I know she's like, please just let this be done.
Definitely get
weapons, and
whether it's a zapper or a pew pew or a dog.
Here's the thing with weapons. They don't always have to look like a weapon. So it could be something as simple as a tool in your van. Okay. And it's good to have things in your van that have more than one purpose. Okay. And I would say multiple weapons. Yes, the cast iron's my favorite. I would say multiple weapons in multiple places because you never know. You never know.
You never know.
And never tell people
whether it's a big wrench, a hammer, or your pee bottle.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, the pee jug would be diabolical. Bless their hearts. But basically never tell people.
And it can be your van too. Don't forget your van. Your van is a weapon.
The van itself. Never tell people what you have. Never like show off what you have. If somebody asks you what you have.
Like we just did. Yeah. Look at my Gracell. Look at my power bank.
Well, don't show people the weapons you have because then they'll know. Definitely. Then they'll know what you're working with. So, if anyone ever starts asking you that in public, that's a red flag. That's weird, and I would just drive away. But yeah, you don't need to tell people your business.
Yeah, and if you're online, don't tell people your location for God's sakes.
Yeah. Well,
I see people doing that. They try to dox other people, and like I know sometimes it's innocent, but it's like don't ever do that to anyone else. And don't even ask where people are online. Okay, but that's my little gripe.
I don't blame you.
Water is important.
Yeah.
We talked about water.
Storing water. Just water storage, really.
Yep.
I have a 5-gallon and a 7-gallon at all times.
I would say bring some sort of like if you're going to be in your van, it's just like in a car. Like you want to have some kind of like rag or something to clean something with. Paper towels you can always get free at the gas station.
Oh,
girl.
there's a lot of things you can. There's in van life we get the forks, the napkins, all of
The ketchup and the mustard.
Yeah, we're the people. Sorry, we take all that. Cooler and fridge for me is a necessity. Whether you have like a rechargeable cooler, whether you have a solar powered cooler, I just have it's not even a fridge. I literally just have a really airtight Ozark Trails cooler that was actually gifted to me by another traveler, and it's not very big. But I'm predominantly in the city, so I can replenish it when I need to.
Right. And you can get free ice at the gas station. Just go in there with your own cup.
Yeah.
Or ask them, maybe they'll charge you like 25 cents for a cup, but like you can always get gas at or ice at the gas
station. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm fading.
I did this to us. It's
okay. I'm just letting you know that my brain is not.
Okay. The last two things I'm going to say is a comfy bed and then AAA or roadside assistance.
Yes, a comfy bed is so important. Like, you do not want to have a crick in your neck or your shoulder or your back, because it will ruin the quality of your life. If you are whether you're in van life because you have to be out of necessity, like in a car, or you're in it for the adventure and the luxury in a Sprinter van. If you don't have a comfortable bed, if you don't have the right setup,
misery,
that's easy for you to immediately get out when you're tired, so you can just plop down in bed.
Yeah.
You're not going to be happy. It's going to ruin your life. So whether you have like a fold out foam thing, or you have an inflatable mattress that goes over your seat in the back, like whatever you have to do to make yourself comfortable and warm at night, get yourself some of those hand warmers. Keep a bag of 10 of them just in case it gets cold. Tuck them in your sleeping bag, whatever.
Honestly, I just have 2 memory foam toppers, and then I have a pillow, a duvet, feather duvet. I have surrounded body pillows, good quality blankets, good quality pillows, like curtains. The number one thing people say when they see my van, your bed looks so cozy.
Comfy.
Yes.
Yep.
Because this is where I live. The main thing I'm doing in the van is either driving or sleeping. Everything else is done outside. My husband's at work. Where the people listening to this podcast, where do you spend most of your time? At work, you losers. That's capitalism. We're all working. All I do is work.
We love you. We know you're working. And this is why we do this podcast, so we can help you get to your goal of being in van life. Seriously.
I'm joking. My husband works all the time. It's terrible.
All the time.
I know how it goes. You know what?
So do we. We just do it out in nature and in the van.
Yeah.
Seriously, we're working all the time.
Yeah, I work all the time, like deleting an entire episode of this podcast, and now Bunny's forced to stay awake.
That I'm going to hold it against you for the rest of your life.
Good, you should. I mean, that's how.
You know what, though?
It's only
I just
natural.
want you guys to know, like all of those who are listening, this is our 3rd episode. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to have hangups. Sometimes we're not going to be able to have an episode every week. Sometimes it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for understanding. And thank you for still supporting us through all this and encouraging us to keep going, because you're why we're doing it. And we love what we're doing here. Like, this is just a passion project.
We're
not making any money on it yet. But we do love what we're doing here, and we hope that you do too.
Oh,
so
guys,
thanks for being here.
Look, we just started this YouTube. This was just like a let's do this type of thing. And we talked about it and we were about it, which is I'm so thankful that I have a co-host that is like Bunny's on top of it. She's always thinking of like, oh, guests we should have on, or
Kyla.
Topics. And I'm more of like behind the scenes, like editing stuff, except for when I'm deleting it. But I think that we make a great team, and I really do enjoy doing this, and I want to see where it goes. And a lot of you seem super excited about it. So, your excitement, you guys, pushes us forward. Like, it keeps us going. Really, thank you so much. Yeah.
But also, like, big shout out to Kyla too, because like she's the techie nerd geek, and she's the CIA agent. So like, if there's anything that needs to be done, like she will figure it out how to do it. She teaches me all the time. She's my mentor. We mentor each other, but like.
It's a mutual. It's definitely mutual.
It is.
You've been doing van life and traveling for like 12 years. So
it's crazy. It doesn't even feel that long.
Yeah.
It does not even feel that long.
You've taught me a lot of stuff. I'm just like,
cool.
Yeah, this is how you edit this thing. Whatever. You have like way more information that's like more niche.
So humble, Kyla.
Whatever.
You episode deleter, you.
Yeah, see, that's what I need. I'm not used to love and compassion. I need
You're
you.
such a nihilist.
Yeah.
Beat me up, Bunny.
Don't
Beat
be nice to
All right,
me.
All right.
All right, guys. Bunny's fading, and
I'm fading.
I want her to go to bed. I feel horrible. Thank you for being here, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us. I'm not even gonna make her do our little tagline thing. Just don't get the knock, okay? Don't get the knock.
No, wait. Lock your doors.
Oh God!
Don't stay aware.
Be aware.
And listen for the knock.
Podcast.
Yeah.
We're one of these days we'll get it right, and it'll be good that time.
Never. No, that's like the whole gist is we're not going to get it.
We
right.
never get it right ever.
It's just gonna be an ongoing
good.
thing.
Yeah. One day we'll
it's
get
all
it.
good though.
Yeah, one day we'll get it right.